Hello there fellow modelers, Steve here, and this video it's a couple of topics and basic chit chat, follow-ons, whatever. The topics are, I was looking at Aaron Newland's website whatever, and he was asking everybody what their favourite build of 2013 was. He says it didn't necessarily have to be your best, just one that you enjoyed doing the most. Now I sent him a message, but a few people have put the videos of what theirs was, so I thought, I'll put mine on and I'll show you in a minute. And the other one is, I've finally finished my CF-18 Hornet for Storm and Gnomes Honour Our Heroes Canadian group build. 2.5 months over, whatever, I don't know. And how I've got with me Phantom, which I'm doing now, and I've also started me Sherman for the D-Day group build. So I'll start off with my favourite build and a bit of nattering on, and it was that one, and it was actually for Aaron Newland's Israeli group build. It's the Nesha, which is basically an Israeli license built Mirage. Now I enjoyed doing this. It was a basic kit. It was cheap, and it's made by a firm called PM Models, which I don't think exists anymore. They are from Turkey, and there was a lot of fit issues with them, as Speedy197 will verify, because he had the same kit, which is a bit of a 1 in a million chance. But we both did them different squadrons, so they were different. There was a bit of fit issues around the wings. I had to fill them in, and a bit with the canopy, but I chopped mine so it's open. I put a little ladder on. And the bombs weren't very good, so I had some bombs out my spare box and I put them in instead. But I like the camouflage. The camouflage really strikes it. It's really striking, the camouflage. I'll give you the top view there. The markings were very thick. They looked like stickers, but they went on apart from the ones on the tail. I had a bit of bother with them. I had to cut it a bit there, and it's, as you can see, it's warped a bit and it went over there, but I got them on anyway. But I enjoyed doing this, so much so that I actually kept the box art and I framed it and put it on the wall. So that was my favourite kit of 2013, since I only built 6, because I only started putting them on YouTube last June. So that's my favourite kit. Now we'll go on to my CF-18 Hornet. Deposit this somewhere. Right, and there it is. CF-18 Hornet of, what is it? Hold on a minute, I'll find out what squadron it is. It's actually a CF-18 Hornet of number 409 Nighthawk Squadron, number 1 Canadian Air Group, based in Baden, Germany, West Germany, in 1988. So that's my contribution to the Canadian heroes. Now I finally got this finished today. I put the missiles on, and I'll zoom in on me pilot. With his Magnum style moustache. You can't really see it there, and there's the ground crew checking underneath with his torch. There's all the missiles on. I know people finished theirs last year anyway. I know Radzzy's still on his Bolo bomber. He might have finished his. I just painted the air brake red inside. I don't know if it's meant to be like that, but I thought it looked good anyway. And there's my first attempt at just, it's not a true diorama, but with the ground crew on. And I'll give you a look underneath. No. Where are we? There we are. I don't want to tip it over too much because the dive brake will fall off. Plenty of ammo. And the only problem with these is the markings are very drab. But that was the time, that was what they had at the period of time. Low visibility markings. But I prefer the colourful ones better. But it's all part of camouflage. Now, a few people have been getting it confused with this with the carrier deck, but that is for the F8 Crusader. Now I sent a message to Cohen C. Alright there, Mike. And we said it was it would look good on the carrier deck. Now you can see underneath it has got a hook on, but I'm not sure whether the Canadian Hornets are carrier capable, since Canada doesn't operate aircraft carriers. But it might just be as standard. I don't know. Maybe somebody can enlighten us. They might have trained. Canada might have adapted their Hornets to operate off aircraft carriers, I don't know. But there you go, that's mine finished. And I'm very pleased with it. So I'll leave that there. Right, this is what I've got done with me F8 Crusader. I've got a top coat of grey on. Now this finishes, well, it finished, supposed to have finished last Thursday, I think, but I've never seen anything from Speedy on YouTube, so I don't know if it might run over, but he obviously knows that I haven't finished it yet. And there's the wing. And these are some of the ground crew for the carrier deck. That's the one that's going like ready to launch. Go! Right, so what have I got to write? As you can see there, this is like a tree effect. That's all the parts of the Sherman that I've done. I've painted them. The wheels, bits of the turret, the sides. I've started that today. Now that runs for 6 months, and I'm hopefully going to get a diorama sorted out. Because I was watching, what have I got left? I think that's it. I'll put it there. So I was watching one of Nigel's videos. He's doing the Mosquito, and he's put a history of it. So I thought, he says that'll be a good idea if you put a history up. So I've been looking up on the internet about the Sherman tank, and I haven't printed it off yet. I'll give you a rundown the next time I do it. Now I'm had a bit of a, where's my instruction leaflet? Can't find it. There it is. I was watching Cone C's video last night. He's fat number 5, I think, and he was saying that I was doing a Sherman tank. Now, he wasn't sure what I was doing it in, whether it was American, British or Canadian. Now I'm doing it in American because on the instruction leaflet it has 79th Armoured Division, United States Army, Operation Overlord, June 1944. But on the box it has 79th Armoured Division, Operation Overlord, Gold Beach. Now, as far as I know, there was only the British landed at Gold Beach, so unless they're getting mixed up here, there's a misprint, or there's two 79th Armoured Divisions in different armies. I don't know. Maybe who's the expert on D-Day? It's Gav0990. Maybe he can enlighten us. But as far as I'm just doing it as it's the box art, because Mike was saying that the Americans didn't operate many of these. They shipped them to the Pacific. It was the British and the Canadians what operated them. But it looks like it's either American or British, I don't know. So hopefully somebody can enlighten us with that. And I've watched the only one that's is Pete Ion 157, that he's did a diorama, or was previously, of D-Day, and I've got a few ideas of him for the diorama that I'm going to do. Right. Because I remember making a diorama when I was a kid out of, what was it? I think it was plaster, and it was like a hill of two humps. Me and my brother made it. We painted it green, but I think that was as far as it got. I think we lost interest in it. Anyway, so my group build, Frankie Days announced that he's doing a Sky Raider. I was watching his last night, and he's doing a review, I think, tonight. Obviously the Phantom that I've done, which is in bits at the moment, I haven't got any glued together. Who else is doing it? Radzi is doing either a Hellcat or a Corsair, but he hasn't started that yet. Chris and Alex modelling, they're doing a Sea Vixen and a Corsair. Now, Chris has started his Sea Vixen. I don't know whether Alex has started his Corsair yet. They have, like Mike was saying, they have loads of builds going on, and it's hard to keep up with them. Now, the D-Day group build, it's fantastic now. I think there's about 30 people so far. I was watching Cohen's 40-minute video about it, and it was very interesting. Really interesting, telling them about different people, about what they're doing. And like he was saying, there seems to be a lot of American and not many Canadian or British or German. And there's a few people doing Tigers and Panther tanks. But apart from that, there's not a lot of British and Canadian, because he was going through his stash with these different tanks, and he's thinking of doing another one. Now I don't know if I might, but might have an idea about trying to do a second one, something British or Canadian, even if it's an aeroplane. It represents the British and Canadian side of it. If me tank isn't British, which it looks like it might turn out to be. But that's all I've got on the go at the moment, and it's been absolutely freezing up here today. I've got my heater on. It was ice this morning when I got up for work, but get on with it. So I've got me my Hornets finished. I'm trying to get me F8 finished, possibly next week, and I don't want to drag me Phantom out. I want to try and get on with the group build, because it might take us a while to do the diorama, depending how big it is. I don't want to make a big massive one, but I don't want to make just a tank and that's it with a bit of grass. I want to put a bit of, anyway, I'm going to write it all down and draw it in as much detail as I can what I would like to do, and I can work it from there. I've got a few ideas. It was mainly that if I was going to do it on the beach, I wanted to know how you got the tank traps, and Pete sent me the L-shaped plastic and modify something anyway. But that's about it, and I'll just crack on with it. And there's loads of group builds going on at the moment. I watched them all and just, I don't know, I'll talk about that and I forget them all. I try and write it down, but it's just, it just goes out my head. But I'm glad I got the Hornet finished. That's good. And me Crusader will be finished this week, and then I can crack on with the Phantom and the tank, because the tank will be interesting. Right, so keep modelling, all you guys in the YouTube land, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.